Hey ladies, it's Kristen Harchus. Excited to be here today with you. And if you're on and you're listening, say hello and let me know you're here. And as I'm going, feel free to ask any questions you have as well. I'm really excited about today's topic. Always excited, but I'm going to be talking about fear because I know that this is one of the biggest things that makes a huge difference when we're deciding what path we're going to take when it comes to starting a business. And this week I've been talking about fear in the group, fear and choices, because those two go together really well. And, it's something that everyone faces. It's interesting. So I go back and I look through people's intake forms or their welcome packets, the questions they answer, as far as when they're getting started in their business, like what are the things that you're afraid of or feel will hold you back? And I'm pretty much everyone, if not everyone, has said fear of failure, or fear of not the unknown, not knowing what's going to happen. So this is just something that everyone faces. So I want you to know that so you don't feel alone, like, why am I so afraid of this and no one else is? Like I promise you, everyone who has ever started a business is afraid of failure because, of course, like, you don't know what's going to happen. So the reason I want to bring that up is because I think a lot of people think they're the only ones that feel that way. And then they're like, oh, well, I'm just not confident enough, or I don't know enough, or, I need more training first, or I need to wait longer, or I need to make more money first. We come up with all these excuses as to, when we feel this fear, why we can't move forward with things. And so that's kind of our mind's way of talking us out of doing the things that we really want to do. So I put a quote in my group today, and I really like it because I think it really defines fear pretty well. So what it said was fear has two meanings: either forget everything and run, which is number one, or number two, face everything and rise. And that quote was by Zig Ziglar, I believe. But I couldn't agree with this more because our fears really are, they're doorways. They're doorways to truly, like, our true self, our highest self, or all that we're capable of in this lifetime. And so in order to reach that level, or to get those things that we really want, or to really step into being the leader and the person that we know that we are capable of being, we have to face these fears and go through that doorway. And this comes down to choices. So that's a choice. Either we can face our fears, and go through that doorway, or we can decide to allow those fears be a brick wall for us and to stop us from moving towards those things we want. And, we do this all the time, in all different areas of our life, and it's not bad or wrong, but it really comes back then to checking in with yourself and saying, okay, am I willing to let fear, which is a feeling, it's not necessarily, something that's based on truth. Am I willing to let this stop me from moving forward towards those things I want, like my business? And then you can check in with yourself, like, why do I want those things I'm afraid of? So if I have my business, or like for me, for example, when I was starting my business, of course I was scared. Of course, I was afraid of failure, or not, making enough money, or it, whatever, and not doing well. Everyone is. But for me, I had to check in with myself and go back to the whys. Like, why do I want my business? And why is this important to me? And for me, it was about, freedom, flexibility, doing something I absolutely loved, being able to travel, being able to move, being able to set my own hours, go for a hike during the middle of the day, go do yoga in the morning, do whatever I wanted to, live life really on my own terms. And this is what has happened for me. So even though I had that fear, just like everyone does when I started my business, because I had no idea what I was doing, um, which doesn't matter. Susie, hi, I see you're on. If anyone else is on, say hi. It's hard to kind of see who's on, but I'd love to know. Um, but anyways, so those were the fears. You know, I was facing fears, but I knew the reasons I wanted my business were important enough for, hi Susie, for me to face these fears and do it anyways. Hey Jen, ah, so excited you guys are on. So I mean, I just knew from working, and I had two really pretty bad associate positions when I was working as a chiropractor and functional medicine practitioner, where huge promises for all this amazing stuff, but I was working under someone else doing their, you know, kind of whatever dirty work or, you know, not being able to call any of my own shots, barely making any money, even though I was a doctor, working hours that just sucked. And I just felt like totally drained when I would get home, and all I would want to do is like sleep and cry. So I knew like I wasn't willing. I already had two positions that had sounded amazing, and that's how they ended up. And so after that, I was like, I'm not willing to do that again. Like, I know I want to have my own business, and I know all the things that come along with that, like the fear and the responsibility and stuff too, but that's worth it for me because I want the freedom and the flexibility bad enough to face all these things and do it anyways. So for me, that was the big driving factor, was the things I wanted to do. And then also doing, you know, this is very important too, but doing work that feels really fulfilling to me and that really lights me up. So I love all my clients and all the people I work with. I love helping people, you know, step into their power, make their vision a reality, you know, figure out how to do this business, how to make it happen. You don't need to figure it all out on your own. Like that's impossible. So don't put that on yourself. You know, get help. So that's a big thing. And that's what I did that allowed me to move through that fear as well. So I got help. I got the support I needed. You know, finding a cheerleader, finding those people, you know, in your family or friends or other coaches that can support you and cheer you on and not bring up like, oh, what if this happens? What if that happens? How many clients do you have? Blah, 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 blah. Like, you know, find those people that are going to be supportive of you instead and not really kind of, you know, pulling you down. And a lot of times that happens because people feel threatened by you going after the things you really want because it can bring up for them like, oh, wait a minute, like, you know, like I want that too, but I don't believe it's possible for me. So a lot of times that can be what happens when you're really facing resistance from other people too. So I made a list. Let me just check if I'm forgetting something. Oh, so then checking in, you know, how important are these things to me? Am I willing to go without them? So am I willing to not have that freedom and flexibility and continue working for someone else? If you are, like, awesome, continue working for someone else and you won't have to face those fears. But if you do really want those things, like facing your fears, it's going to be that doorway to transformation for you. So not only is it the doorway for changing your business, but it really changes your confidence, your relationship with yourself, your relationship with others. I think it's a doorway to authenticity. So really being who you are meant to be in this world and who you're capable of being. So it ends up being about a lot more than just your business, because if you feel really called to have a business, that's not like a fluke or some silly dream. It's because it's something that you're meant to do, something that's possible for you. So there's no reason that you can't step into that and do that. Like it's possible for you. You just have to be willing to face those fears. And they're the same fears that everyone has, like I said before. So know that you're not alone in that at all. A few more things I wanted to say. So one of the big things too, and I mentioned this, but around the fear is just the fear of the unknown. So when you're starting a business, just like me, I knew nothing about running a business. I had no background in business. I had like one business class in chiropractic school, even though most chiropractors go on to start their own practice. So I really knew nothing about doing it. And truthfully, my first business actually was a failure because I started like a chiropractic and nutrition clinic, working out of an office space. And even though I knew that wasn't what I really wanted a more online freedom-based coaching business. So that business ended up kind of crashing and burning. But at that point, I was a little disappointed, but at the same time, I was like, okay, what can I learn from this situation and take to what I want to really do with my business and make it work. So I used it as a learning opportunity instead to start a business I really wanted, which was the coaching business, and to get the help I really needed, which was I worked both privately with a coach and I did a high level coaching program as well to learn like all the business tools. And I've continued to work with coaches almost the whole time I've been running my business for 3 years. So um, I think it's really important. It's important to have that support and also to know that you don't need to know how to do everything before you get started. Like just take it one step at a time. We never can see like the whole long journey and how everything's going to go and what the final destination is. And you have to be okay with that. You have to just know, like, I'm just going to take one step at a time. I'm going to get the support I need and believe in myself and believe that I can make this happen. That's really all it takes. So anyone can do it. I did it. I didn't know anything about running a business, and I see my clients do it as well. So I want you to know that those fears don't have to stop you, and they don't at all mean that you don't have what it takes. So everyone has fears, and they're simply just doorways for us to step through. So if you can think about it like that, like fear is not a bad thing. I don't have to be afraid of feeling fear. It doesn't mean like I'm feeling fear, ick, I need to run away. Instead, like I'm feeling fear, it's a doorway, let me go through it. So it's a better way, a more helpful way to think about it. Let me see if there's anything else that I want to mention. If anyone has any questions, let me know. But so belief, which was a big thing I said too, but just believing in yourself. Like I said, if you're feeling called to do this, like I 100% believe we don't feel like our dreams and desires are our path, are their like guidance that we're getting from divine, from our inner guidance, from God, whatever you want to call it, as far as our true path. So if you're feeling like I want a business, I want my own business, I want to be health coaching people, or I want to be coaching people about whatever. It's because it's something that you'd be good at, it's something you're meant to be doing, and it's something that you have the power in you to make happen. So you don't need to be afraid, like, I don't have what it takes, or, I can't make this happen. If you have that calling to do it, you do. So know that too, because that makes a big difference. And then also when it comes to failure, like I said, it doesn't mean that that's the end, that you're done, that, failure is just, it's learning. It's things that didn't work well the way you did it the first time, so you can learn from them and make some changes the second time, just like I did with my business. Like I said, my first business was, I made less, like the whole maybe year, I don't know if I quite ran it a whole year, but I made less like the whole time I was running my business, which was at least 6 months. That was the like brick and mortar chiropractic practice than I did in 1 month of coaching, in my coaching, after I'd been going for about 6 months. So that's a huge difference. And, it was just because I was doing what I really wanted to be doing. I was clear on my vision, clear on what I wanted, clear on who I want to be helping people with, and just went for that full force and made it happen. So you can do it too. And if you fail, you can always, it's just, turn and go a different direction a little bit, or make some tweaks and keep going. True failure is just, it's giving up, and saying, I can't do this. And of course there's little tweaks we can make along the way. Like, my ideal client has changed as I went. And that's fine. It's just, your business is growing with you and transforming with you as you get more clear on what you want to be doing. So it's all a process and it's all good. I think that's all I had to cover, or all I wanted to go through with you guys. So once again, I mentioned choices too, but just know, like, whenever it comes to fear, you always have two choices, and you can run the other way. And if you're happy with where you're at, and you're fine with it, like, that's okay. But if you want things to change, then you have to face that fear and go through that doorway. So, and choices, it's not always like big, huge choices like where am I going to live? You know, am I going to start my business? Like those are important choices, but the choices that we make each and every day are really important too. So, you know, what am I eating? Am I taking care of myself? Am I putting aside time for my business? Am I making it a priority? Um, you know, same thing with relationships. Am I making them a priority? You know, so it really goes down into all these little choices that we make each and every day, as well as those bigger choices. So if anyone has any questions about that, let me know. If this helped you, let me know. And the other thing I'll be doing is putting a little link below for a free consultation. If you are interested in that, if you're like, this video is resonating with you and you're like, yes, I'm facing all these fears and I don't really know how to move through them, or I feel like they're stopping me, but I do want my own business. You know, I do want that freedom and flexibility and that lifestyle. You know, like let's set up a time to talk, and I'd be happy to, you know, meet you where you're at, see what's going on for you, and give you clarity on how we can make those things actually happen for you, like step by step, not like this big overwhelming, oh my gosh. So I'm really about breaking things down into doable steps and making it be easy. So if that's interested, if that is to interest of you, click on the link. I'll put it below in the comments. And I hope you all found that helpful. And I hope you're having an amazing Wednesday. And I will talk to you all soon. Bye.